Hey, and welcome back to Miss Kitty's Wild West Adventures. If you've ever been to Wickenburg, Arizona, you may have been startled by a Gila monster or a rattlesnake just sitting on the sidewalk, only to realize it wasn't moving because it was a sculpture. Here's a story about one of those sculptures. Elizabeth Hudson Smith arrived in Wickenburg in 1897, along with her husband Bill, who was a porter on the Santa Fe, Prescott, and Phoenix Railroad. The pair initially rented a room at the Baxter Hotel, a rundown adobe structure built some 30 years earlier and boasting a surly combination of bad whiskey and even worse food. Elizabeth began cooking for hotel patrons, which soon led to her managing the place. This suited owner Richard Baxter quite well, since he was not a fan of the death threats he had been getting from unsatisfied clientele.
I'm gonna come over your house, chop your legs off, set your house on fire, and watch as you drag your bloody stumps out of your house, okay?
After a few years at the Baxter Hotel, Elizabeth was approached by Santa Fe Railroad officials and asked to open a secondary hotel closer to the train station. Here, guests on the railroad could get a delicious hot meal, dining cars had yet to be added to the rail lines, and have a peaceful night's rest before departing the next morning. Elizabeth worked with Phoenix architect James Cretan to design the building that would become the first brick structure in Wickenburg. The building boasted 12-inch thick walls to block out the summer heat, and an array of fireplaces to keep rooms warm during the winter months. And of course, a big kitchen with wood cook stoves where Elizabeth continued to satisfy her customers' appetites. She named the hotel the Vernetta after her mother-in-law, who had allegedly funded much of its construction. Elizabeth also went on to co-found Wickenburg's community church with Cretan, where she was an avid worshiper. When her hotel opened in 1905, Santa Fe officials were so delighted with it that they constructed a walkway from the train station to the Vernetta's front door. Train passengers were able to walk safely to the hotel, belly up to the bar in the hotel's black and tan saloon, have a delicious meal, and stay overnight in one of the cleanest rooms in town. The hotel and restaurant did so well, in fact, that Elizabeth soon purchased some land and raised her own livestock and grew her own fruits and vegetables, which she then reinvested into her restaurant and served to her hungry guests. Soon she had acquired 12 rental homes, a barbershop, and about 10 mining claims of her own. Elizabeth became a leading figure in the community, contributing to the overall growth of the town. But then Wickenburg, like the rest of the nation, suffered insurmountable loss. The Great Depression meant people were no longer willing or able to spend frivolously on luxury items such as fine dining, drinks, or hotel stays, and the only travel they did do was only that which would lead to a paycheck at the other end. The Vernetta struggled to stay open. In 1935, Elizabeth was still struggling to keep the doors open when, on March 25th, she died. The next day, the Vernetta dining room closed forever. Sadly, the economic distress of the Great Depression had led to racial tensions in Wickenburg, much like it had the rest of the nation. Despite her significant contributions to the town, Elizabeth was not allowed burial in the white-only Wickenburg Cemetery and was instead buried in the Garcia Cemetery. In 2008, the town of Wickenburg commissioned artist J. Seward Johnson to create 22 bronze sculptures, including 6 lifelike ones and 16 linking pieces to tell the story of Wickenburg. Elizabeth's life-size sculpture can be found, still welcoming guests to the pride of Wickenburg, the former Vernetta Hotel and Restaurant in Wickenburg. Did you like this story about Elizabeth Hudson Smith? Had you ever heard the story before? Leave a comment down below. And if you've ever been to Wickenburg, let me know which is your favorite sculpture. There are 22 to choose from, so pick your favorite. Please give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe to Miss Kitty's Wild West Adventures. And in the meantime, I'll catch you on down the trail.